are staying here forever in the beauty of this place all alone. We keep on hoping maybe there's a world where we don't have to run, and maybe there's a time we'll call our own, living free in harmony and majesty. Take me home, take me home.
We can tell that fall is here. I think this is the first overcast day that I can remember in a long time. The last night it rained a little bit, but let out the goats this morning, or Timmy let out the goats this morning, and the fence that we put up. I went up to the sawmill to start putting together our new tooth setter and our blade sharpener. That's today's video. And the goats had got in the inside of the fence here, and they make quick work out of any type of vegetation. So we'll start with this one over here. So you can see they went through and they quickly remove all the leaves. Alright. And then this one over here, up here, you can see they removed all the leaves. All the leaves are removed, right? Not only did they remove all the leaves, but they decapitated the tree. You can see the stump down here. See the stump? Quick. They're quick. But they're fast. And then Poe, the Boston Terrier, he's pretty ferocious. If you sick him on the goats, he makes quick work of them. He goes directly for their hind legs, and there's no mercy once he gets going. You gotta call him off or he'll maim the animals. Yeah, Boston Terrier. Boston Terriers are the sun's trying to come out. Boston Terriers are pretty rugged and ferocious animals, and he doesn't care how big it is. He's going to go after it. Well, we're going to be up here at the sawmill. I got to get this done. We got a lot of projects I have to get done, and we got to basically, with goats, you have to goat proof everything that you don't want them to eat, because they're going to eat everything you don't want them to eat first before they start going after the real reason why we got them. We originally got the goats to clear the poison oak on the property, and they've done a pretty good job. If you look down on this hill down here, down below, right? This was all poison oak and brush and stuff. The goats have cleared that, but like the blackberries, I didn't want them to clear out the blackberries, but they cut that all back too. So let's get this day started. I'm gonna start with the tooth setter. I got the manual out. I got my glasses. It's showing the base facing this way. This goes this way. Rotate center assembly down until it rests on this standoff. Right, that's what we got. Rotate center assembly down until it rests on this stand. I got it. Install center assembly on. I got that. So we're gonna have to attach this to something. That's where we are with this. We're gonna have to make a stand for it. Looks like that's how it goes together. Once we get everything all set, and we're gonna have to put a blade in there and see how it goes. So this is the tooth sharpener, and we got another bag of hardware. And we have all these angle irons. That's for the stand. This is for the stand. The stand. It's all stand parts. Parts to the sharpener. You got a power on and off. Power on, power off. You got a speed. Power on, power off. High and low speed. You got the feed. Blade. Let's get this together. Motor. And in this, we've got the sharpening blade, and we have these. We'll have to see what those are. Lots of miscellaneous parts. Little bits out there screaming. Lots of parts. Start with the stand. We have mounting base. So you get the base, and then these pieces line up here. Oh. These little tiny nuts are not the easiest to work with. For this video, if I was smart, what I would do is I would put this all together, and then I would take it apart in pieces and then film it like I was putting it together the first time, and then cut it and edit it with a video, and I bet you nobody would know the difference. No, we didn't do that. This is the first time we're putting this together. So I got 8 of these screws that I have to put together. We've started assembling the legs to the base. So these are the upper legs. You got 4 upper legs, and then the next step would be to install the lower legs. So on the front you have 2 of the, what are they, M5, Yeah, M5 by 12 millimeter bolts per leg, and then on the back you've got 4 per leg. You're not supposed to tighten these up right now. This isn't the step to tighten those. That will be later on. Next step will be putting the lower parts of the legs on. So we got the lower legs here. These are the lower legs, and these are the what are they? The M5 12 millimeter screws, little screws, and then you have washer, and little washer. All right, and then these miniature nuts. See a little nut. Install the lower legs. All this hardware that you use to put all this on, you're not supposed to tighten it until it instructs you to do that. And then on the leg bottoms, you only do the outsides, not the front and back hardware. You just put the outside hardware on. The next step will be to put the cross brace in. So we have these cross brace pieces, and I believe they lock together. So we're going to install this next. Once you put the cross pieces in, right, and the cross pieces go in a certain way, they're cut on a taper, and you can see that the legs, they're smaller at the top than they are at the bottom, so they flare at the bottom all the way around. So these cross pieces account for that, so they're cut on an angle. Once you put the cross pieces in, right, then you can go through and you can tighten all the hardware up. So once I did that, I went through and I made sure everything was tight. I went around the second time to make sure everything was tight. And the next step is installing the control box. Attach the control box to the stand, and we're using 2 hex bolts, and then we have the control box. Alright, we're going to mount that to the stand. Our next step is we're going to attach the advancer arm. This is called the advancer, to the control box. This is the advancer. Right, this is the advancer, and then you attach it with 1 nut, and then we're going to tighten all the hardware. So there's 2 14 millimeter bolts securing the controller to the stand on the bottom side, under here, 1 on each side. And then this advancer, you got to make sure there's a 14 millimeter nut that goes with this, but you got to make sure that when you lock these nuts down, that this can still rotate freely. Next, we're going to install the power head, or the grinding head. And this is the grinding head. Alright. The grinding head. Alright, to install the grinding head on the opposite side from where you install this advancing arm. Alright. So you've got the, on the top, right, you got all the controls. You see that? So on the opposite side, on the back side, you have this grinding head. See this? Goes this piece here is the handle, locking handle, right? You put the washer on there, and then this goes through. See that? Goes through here, and then that attaches right here. So one of the holes is actually bigger in there, so that you can it recessed it into the inside. That's the power head, and then this power cable, there's a plug here on the back of the control box. The female, there's only one, it's on the back. So this plugs into here. That's all on the back side. Next step is to install the grinding wheel. The grinding wheel. The goats. The grinding wheel. You need the grinding wheel. So you gotta make sure that when you install this, that the side with all the writing on it is away from the motor. So you remove on the inside, reach inside here, and there's a piece. It's about 2 inches around with knurling around the edge, right? And then the wheel, right? This is the motor. This side without the writing on it faces the motor. And then on the motor, there's a part, you got a thread that accepts this piece, right? And then it's bigger, it flares out, and then this knurled piece gets threaded on after the wheel is installed. You get the recess faces the wheel, but they don't make this. Putting this together, if you have your wife or somebody, you need somebody with smaller fingers to assemble this. All those nuts on here. Okay. Okay, so you get the motor, power head, you have the grinding wheel, the knurled piece goes on the outside. The next is the depth adjustment rod. Okay, on the power head, we have a bracket on top of the power head, and then you have this rod, right? And you have a hex nut, you have this adjustment piece, and you have this knob. Right, this threads into here, right? The acorn nut's on the end. I'll have to so the distance, at least to start, from this acorn nut I'm going to need a tape measure. Alright, so that threads through the bracket on the top of the power head. bracket on the top of the power head. And then this nut goes on there. Well, actually this knob goes on here. That threads on. Alright. See that? That threads on there. Then this hex nut threads on. This hex nut acts like a jam nut. And then this needs to thread up more. Then this piece here threads on the end. Alright, make sure it's all the way down, and then this nut gets backed up against this knob. Okay, now from the bottom of this acorn nut to this set knob, this black plastic set knob that we set on here, right? This is supposed to be 7 inches. So this knob needs to come over there. This is just a starting point. Once you put a blade in here, you're going to have to readjust this. This little black plastic piece acts like a lock nut, so this doesn't move. Next, we're going to install the grinding shield. So now that we got the grinding head attached in this upright position, you got this clear plastic piece, and it's got some white protective film on it. So if you get the tooth setter, it came with some wrenches. That one doesn't fit. right. Then slide the left arm into the other cutout, ensuring the left arm is below. And this knob goes into the bottom. At the third hole in the center on the bottom is what these arms mount to. Whew. Next step is to attach the outer arms. We got 1 and 2. So for each control arm, you have this extension piece, oops, 2 of these bolts, two washers, and 2 nuts. So for the HM130 Max, we're from this end, right? We're in the third hole. 1 through the top, 1 through the side on both sides. Now we're going to install the in-feed arm, this piece here. Right? So we have 2 washers and 2 nuts. Right? It's going to install on the side right here. It's got the on off switches right on the edge, and you get these 2 studs sticking out. We've got frogs again. 2 washers on. And the 2 nuts. So we're going to have to adjust that. Battery cables. The battery cables. They go on this end here. So you'll notice on this connection here, right, you see on the top in the corners, you got those notches. If you look at the female side here, it accounts for that. And that goes right in there. So we're assembled. We're gonna get a new 12-volt battery, but I got it on a battery charger right now. So on, the little red light comes on. This is the feed. So it's feeding. See if we can get it to, it's feeding. Let's see if we can get it to grind. So it's dragging because the battery's dead. That one. That one. Now the battery's not really strong enough to power this. You can hear it starting to slow down. So I gotta get a new battery, and then we'll set this back up and retest it and get a blade sharpened up so that we can start cutting some wood. You can hear it starting to drag now. Every once in a while you can hear that it hits. There it goes. So I got the battery charger on boost. When it's trying to charge, you can hear it speed up. So we're gonna stop it. And this is supposed to shut it off once it gets all the way around. Let's see how it works. The battery's not holding a charge. So let's give it a minute so that it kicks back up. See if we can sharpen a blade. Okay. So what should happen is that should go all the way around, and when it gets to the side, it will shut off. Theoretically, this is supposed to come around and hit those switches and shut it off. See how it works. Huh. Worked pretty good. We'll get another battery hooked up to this, and we'll get the blade on the sawmill, and we'll see how well it does. I gotta say, today turned into an absolutely beautiful day. Beautiful day. Rained about 4 o'clock this morning, and then the clouds burned off. don't know if you can see that, but the clouds burned off in the distance. Sky is clear. We got this blade sharpener put together today, and ran a little bit of a test run on this blade. We got to get a new 12-volt battery to power this. And now I'm trying to charge this little tiny battery, but it's dead. But it's gonna save us a lot of money. A lot of money. Well, make sure you're having your best day, and God bless.